Hi, Dennis.
Hey Sam, you know, I was just watching a documentary on tigers. They were saying that tigers are on the brink of extinction. If measures are not taken, soon we may not have any tigers left. How's that possible?
Sadly enough, tigers have been hunted down over the last few decades, and many of them don't find partners to reproduce to keep the species alive.
I don't really understand. What is reproduction?
Yes, Hexie. I can understand why you're confused. Robos have no need to reproduce because they're created by man. But living organisms on Earth need to reproduce to keep their species alive. It's because of reproduction that you see millions of organisms of the same type.
In this lesson, you will learn about the significance of reproduction. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to describe the significance of reproduction.
So, as I was saying earlier, organisms reproduce to keep the species alive. For example, if tigers don't reproduce, we won't be able to see any more tigers in a few years.
So, reproduction makes a new individual?
You got it.
But wait a minute, Sam. How did dinosaurs become extinct then? Didn't they reproduce?
Well, there is another aspect to survival of a species. Environments can change drastically without the control of organisms. Such an environmental change can kill a species. Scientists say that the Earth was hit by meteorites that led to the end of the dinosaurs.
You know, the documentary also showed how human beings evolved from apes. But you said reproduction produces organisms of similar type. So how do features of organisms change through evolution?
You have to understand that evolution is a long drawn-out process that takes place over millions of years. Organisms live together in a well-defined environment. During reproduction, these organisms produce body design features suitable for that environment. For example, over generations, giraffes developed long necks to eat the leaves growing high up on trees.
How do they change their body design on their own?
Well, it is a little different from the way we designed you, for sure. The answer lies in variations produced during DNA replication. You must have studied at school about how chromosomes in the nucleus of a cell carry information for the inheritance of features from parents to the next generation in the form of DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid molecules. So, what happens during reproduction is that a DNA copy is created. In replication, the DNA is not identically copied. This leads to variations in the DNA. During reproduction, these variations are passed on to the offspring and then to the subsequent generations. Such variations can help a species survive adverse conditions.
It is confusing, Sam.
Let me explain this with an example. Suppose there was a population of bacteria living in temperate waters and the temperature increases due to global warming. Many of the bacteria would die due to the increased temperature. However, DNA variations in some bacteria might enable them to develop resistance to heat. The DNA of these heat-resistant bacteria are then passed on to its offspring and subsequent generations that lead to the heat-resistant bacteria.
DNA seems to be very powerful.
Yes, they sure are.
So, that's what they mean by survival of the fittest.
Exactly. Just like we keep building better models of machines. Nature enables living organisms to evolve into stronger beings through DNA variations. This brings us to the end of this lesson on reproduction and its significance. In the next lesson, you will learn about modes of reproduction in living organisms. To revisit the key points covered in this lesson, please review the flashcard at the end of this lesson.